Thank you, Noah. A high-stakes round of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran is underway in Geneva as the Trump administration weighs possible military action if no deal is reached on Iran's nuclear program. The U.S. is also investigating a shootout in the Caribbean involving a speedboat from Florida. 4 people on the boat were killed and 6 injured. Natalie Brand has the latest details from Washington.
In Geneva, President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff sat down for the latest round of indirect nuclear talks with Iran.
I think a fair, balanced, and equitable deal is achievable.
Iran's foreign minister said the country is also prepared if a deal is not reached with a massive U.S. military buildup in the Middle East.
There would be no victory for anybody. It would be a devastating war.
Ahead of the talk, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said President Trump still prefers diplomacy, but he warned Iran poses a grave threat to the U.S.
After their nuclear program was obliterated, they were told not to try to restart it, and here they are. You can see them always trying to rebuild elements of it. They're not enriching right now, but they're trying to get to the point where they ultimately can.
In another international development, the U.S. is investigating after Cuban authorities shot and killed 4 people on board a speedboat registered out of Florida.
I'm not even going to speculate as to what it could have been. It's a wide range of things. But suffice it to say, it is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that.
Cuban authorities said the individuals entering Cuban waters were asked for identification and then opened fire. Cuba alleges they were armed with assault rifles, handguns, Molotov cocktails, bulletproof vests, and camouflage uniforms, and planned to carry out a, quote, infiltration for terrorist purposes. The U.S. has not verified that information. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, an update on the investigation into the death of a man whose body was found near the Arkansas River in Crawford County. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says 48-year-old Nathan Curtis is the 6th person arrested for the crime. Curtis is charged as an accessory after the fact in the murder of Derek Marshall. The case has continued to grow, now totaling 6 arrests. Officials have not released new details about Curtis's specific role, but they say the investigation is still active. We're now getting a clearer picture of how the charges break down. Danny Goad is facing a first-degree murder charge in the case. The 4 other people on your screen are accused as accessories. All 6 suspects charged in connection with Marshall's murder are being held in the Sequoia County Jail. Arkansas State Police are investigating after the death of a Washington County inmate who stopped breathing while being released from jail for hospice care. Family tells 5 News they were fighting for James Gore to be moved to hospice after he was jailed on several felony charges. Gore was diagnosed with glioblastoma in 2025 and had a surgery to remove a tennis ball-sized tumor. He was arrested earlier this month for allegedly stabbing his wife and an at-home healthcare worker. Family and friends say Gore's condition had impacted his judgment the night of the alleged incident and that his behavior had never been violent before.
But he was never aggressive.
Never. To that extent.
He might be words, but he was never, ever aggressive to...
No, he was stern and opinionated, but he wasn't violent or mean.
He was never violent.
No, he wasn't about being violent.
Deputy Prosecutor Dennis Dean says they had concerns about releasing Gore to the public, citing risks to safety despite his cognitive state. Dean had added that Gore was denied admittance to a lockdown facility, and because of that, he was kept in the jail.
The position was that he posed a threat to the safety of others, and that although there definitely were some mental health or health issues that could have precipitated this crime, his behavior still could not be controlled.
As Arkansas State Police begin their investigation, we've requested files in regards to the circumstances surrounding Gore's death. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is meeting with the House Oversight Committee near her home in New York today in connection with the Epstein files. Her husband, former President Bill Clinton, is scheduled to give his deposition tomorrow. At the same time, there are new questions about whether there are missing documents related to allegations against President Trump. Bradley Blackburn has the latest from New York.
Members of the House Oversight Committee arrived in Chappaqua, New York for Thursday's taped deposition with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, part of their investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The purpose of the whole investigation is to try to understand many things about Epstein. How did he accumulate so much wealth? How was he able to surround himself with some of the most powerful men in the world?
The head of the committee denied the Clintons' request to conduct the questioning in public.
We are more than happy to say what we know, which is very limited.
In an interview with the BBC last week, Hillary Clinton accused the Republican-controlled committee of trying to shift focus away from President Trump.
The Republican member of Congress who is running this hearing or this investigation is trying to protect the president.
The Epstein files contain photos of powerful men, including both President Trump and former President Bill Clinton, whose deposition is set for tomorrow. Both deny any criminal wrongdoing and have not been charged in connection with the late disgraced financier. The closed-door depositions come as the committee's top Democrat raises concerns allegations made by an Epstein survivor who accused Trump of sexual misconduct may be missing from the Department of Justice's file release.
New files that were just discovered in the last couple days of a survivor that has made serious accusations and allegations against not just Jeffrey Epstein, but also against President Trump. Where are these files? Who removed them?
As the Epstein fallout continues, billionaire Bill Gates apologized to the Gates Foundation over his Epstein ties, but said he did nothing illicit. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Still ahead at noon, from playground pastime to full-blown fitness movement. How one Atlanta couple's turning double dutch into a sport for all ages and building community one jump at a time.